So as I just finished up my laundry, I've had this thought on my mind for a long time. This is I'm talking about when I was younger and everything, just trying to understand and maneuver through life. But I really wanted to speak to the individuals that may feel that they're on the island by themselves. And being on the island by yourself is actually, in my opinion, a great thing, but something that can also come with a lot of frustrations, and it can feel as if you're secluded at times. So the question I want to ask some of you that may be watching this video: have you personally ever felt that you were on an island by yourself? And being on an island by yourself doesn't mean that you're alone, but you may have been in spaces where you felt that the people around you or the environments that you were in just didn't align to the person that you were. When you were in different types of environments, people's perspectives and the way that they were talking or moving just didn't resonate with the person that you were or the person that you are striving to be. It's like even being in a room full of a lot of people, you're standing on your own too. You're navigating your own path. You're in your own type of zone, and everybody else may seem as if they're more so following the crowds, or they're in their own lane over here that's congested, and it doesn't feel as if there's no true authenticity. Well, then you more than likely have been on the island by yourself. And I'm someone that has truly experienced that a lot of times in my life. And being in my later 20s now, not only am I able to recognize it, but I'm able to put action towards it, that I can truly embrace the individual that I've become. And when you think about being on the island by yourself, a lot of people that when you're talking to them about feeling that way and you're able to express yourself and express your emotions out loud, a lot of the people that you may share it with will feel as if, you're down, or, there's something wrong with you, you have problems. But we have to realize that a lot of people don't have the mental capacity to understand about being on an island by yourself, or from the multifaceted perspective, because they haven't challenged themselves to be able to see it from that light. And the reason I'm bringing both terminologies together, multifaceted and being on an island by yourself, because I know for myself, for the longest, for feeling that I was on an island by myself, the multifaceted has really contributed to me being more comfortable and loving being on the island by myself. And the reason is because for the multifacets, there were so many different layers that made up who DeMarcus was, that even in different types of crowds or different type of settings, people would always get the true authentic me. But there were so many ways in which I can fit into different subsectors of my life. If I'm playing sports, I could compete with some of the best players, when it came to that. If I'm, doing music or whatever, like, I understand, how people are going out and getting samples. I know how to be able to create beats. If it's, if it's making clothes, like, I know how to be able to do heat transfer vinyl. When you keep your curiosity up and your learning curve isn't small, to where when different things come into your life, you're willing to take it head on, you're willing to learn, or you're willing to open up your mind to explore something that you may have not known about, that's when that curiosity continues to help you explore things from multiple points of view. And when I'm speaking on these type of topics and expressing myself in these types of videos, I'm always going to speak from a perspective of something that I've experienced, not from just one side. Like, I was a person where, based on me having to define this type of mentality and being able to get to where I'm at now, there was a lot of points to where there were trial and errors of me trying to fit in, because I'm only feeling that that's the right thing to do based on the environments that I'm in. The way I'm seeing other people move, people that are older than me or whatever, I'm seeing them be followers and not knowing what that is at the time. So I'm thinking that, for you to feel as if you're a part of something, or to feel as if you have any type of value, you've got to move in ways in which these particular people were doing. But I can honestly say that over time, I really don't know what it was internally for me that pushed me to continue to believe in myself at times, because there was a lot of points where I was confused and lost. When kids were, learning different aspects of life, I felt that I was behind, but I did feel that a lot of people were being followers. And for me, I didn't want to be in that particular realm, because there were things that others were doing that I just didn't agree with, or perspectives that they had that I was like, that just don't make sense to me, and that's not the way in which I want to maneuver. Does that mean that everything that they were doing was wrong, or that my perspective was always right? No, but the way in which I felt in doing these particular things, it just didn't resonate with me. And so a lot of times I felt, as I was continuing to move through life, that even in times where I would be open to hearing other perspectives or doing things in a different way, that was because my mind was letting me be in a space where I was okay with that. Versus a lot of people that I was around, they were only doing things because such and such over here was doing it, because it looked cool, because the crowd was validating them or whatever. But for me, that didn't make me feel good. Because if I'm a person that has to compromise my emotions or feelings at the cost of feeling more approved to other people, then I don't want to be in those environments. And I also, too, don't want to be a part of everybody else's agenda. And so my goal for these videos is to not only be able to provide different aspects of my life from a multifaceted standpoint, but even when I'm speaking, like I'm someone that can ramble and go on for forever, and I can have depth in those conversations while I'm doing that. But I also want to be able to capture audiences in ways where people can truly find value in what I'm saying. You know, I want to be able to, do a lot of public speaking one day. I want to be able to, continue to impact people like I have been and be able to get my voice out more. And I feel like these types of videos are what people in my life appreciate from me. And so I'm like, why not continue to bring this type of energy on more platforms where others can hear it as well? Because again, with social media, it's so easy to get lost in the views, the likes, the validation from all these areas. But people that feel like how I'm feeling, when it comes to being on an island by yourself, or yourself that may be going through a particular struggle where you're not knowing the terminology to place it within, or knowing how to be able to speak about the issues that you're going through, these type of platforms are needed. And I'm a person to where over the course of my life, when I was lost and trying to figure out certain things and felt behind, the only people that I may have had was maybe have been parents at the time. But then when you're younger, you don't necessarily want to go to them because you feel like they're too old. They can't understand what I'm going through. And, even at times I didn't have a sibling growing up. And guys that were older than me that I may have looked to in my mind for support or whatever, like they weren't really anybody that I wanted to be like. And so over time, there were like people that have come into my life and people I've gotten to know where there's different aspects of like, hey, that's dope. Like I want to, add part of that to my life, right? But for me, I can honestly say like the person that I'm destined to be and person that I want to be is truly me. Like there's different aspects of individuals and there's people that I feel very, very inspired by, but the person that I'm becoming and the person that I'm creating, the person that I'm loving, even in this moment, I'm continuously taking strides each day to be that person. And I feel like that when we think about our lives, we have to look at all these different areas from where we're getting information from, motivation, inspiration, and we have to truly be able to embrace the person that we want to be, because sometimes when we're so focused on having a similar life or we want to shape ourselves like someone else, we're also not taking into account like all the things that they may not be honest about, the things that they may be going through, or the things that they may lack in that they could utilize from us to be able to help to advance their lives, because that's what they're telling us, right? So at times when we're not placing the value on who we are as individuals, we're doing ourselves a disservice because we're not recognizing like all the great things about us.